guys. Welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. I've said this multiple times that social media and the pressure from social media and everybody chiming in their thoughts on something before anything is proven, time and time again, only hurts men. Primarily men, because they can be accused of doing something, lose their job, lose their livelihood, lose their creation, lose their means of income. Lo and behold, later on it's found out they didn't actually do anything wrong. Such is the case of Justin Roiland, of the voice actor and of Rick and Morty fame. I think he's also the co-creator of that, plus many other things. He lost all his jobs. He was ostracized, and come to find out, there wasn't even enough to take the case to a trial. Originally, from Variety, Rick and Morty co-creator Justin Roiland facing home harm charges. 42 is charged in Orange County, California, with one count of battery with corporal injury and imprisonment by menace, fraud, and deceit, which is basically holding somebody against their will. Pleaded not guilty, appeared in court on Thursday of January 13th, 2023 for pretrial. He was let out on $50,000 bond. They say his testimony left a statement. I'll read that in the other story. He's best known for co-creating the Adult Swim animated comedy Rick and Morty, so it's half of his, which he's now out on. He voices the show's titular characters, Rick Sanchez and Morty Smith. 2018, during the third season, the series was renewed for 70 additional episodes. He also created Hulu's Solar Opposites, voiced the main character Corvo. He's voiced characters on Adventure Time, Gravity Falls, Fish Hooks. His credits also include The Simpsons, Robot Chicken, Yo Gabba Gabba, Gabba Gabba, and Community. He's the founder of the animation studio Justin Roiland's Solo Vanity Card Productions and video game studio Squatch Games. Well, come to find out, here we are 6 months later after he's lost all jobs, all opportunities, all businesses, all everything. Justin Roiland, the charges against him, YouTube doesn't like those words. That's why I'm not saying. We'll just say home harm charges dismissed. So they didn't even go to court. Rick and Morty creator slams horrible lies reported about me. They say the Rick and Morty creator, Justin Roiland, has been cleared of the charges. Variety confirms. Kimberly Ed's spokeswoman for the Orange County District Attorney's Office said in a statement, "We dismissed the charges today as a result of having insufficient evidence to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt." Roiland took to social media to respond to the dropped charges, writing in a statement that he is thankful the case has been dismissed. He added, "I'm still deeply shaken by the horrible lies that were reported about me during this process." Roiland appeared in court in January for pretrial, which we just talked about. "I've always known these claims were false, and I never had any doubt this day would come," Roiland said in the new statement. "I am thankful that this case has been dismissed, but at the same time, I'm still deeply shaken by the horrible lies that were reported about me during the process. Most of all, I'm disappointed that so many people were so quick to judge without knowing the facts, based solely on the word of an embittered ex trying to bypass due process and have me canceled." So again, a jilted or ex-lover or girlfriend or whatever that's pissed off and decides, you know what, maybe none of this is true, or maybe there's just not enough evidence here to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt he's actually guilty, so much so that they didn't even bother taking this case to trial. And you know, when it comes to these type of cases where men do inappropriate things to women, they're going to do everything they can to try to take this to trial. There just wasn't enough there. They didn't bother. Prosecutor doesn't want to take it forward if there's no case of actually winning it. Roiland added that it may have succeeded even partially is shameful. However, now that the legal case has ended, I'm determined to move on and focus on both my creative projects and restoring my good name. Roiland's attorney, T. Edward Welburn, added in a statement to Variety, "I commend the Orange County District Attorney's Office for conducting a thorough review of the facts before deciding to dismiss the case against Justin. I'm thankful justice has prevailed." Adult Swim severed ties with Roiland at the end of January because of the charges. The network said in a brief statement at the time it's ended its association with Justin Roiland. Roiland then resigned from Squatch Games, the video game developer banner that he co-founded in 2016. best known for co-creating the Adult Swim animated comedy Rick and Morty, on which he also voiced the show's two titular characters. I read all those credits already. Adult Swim and Hulu declined to comment on the latest development. Of course, because now it's oopsie doopsie poopsie. We jumped the gun again like they do so many times, and where a charge is just enough to ruin a man's life. And then his lawyer gave a statement. Here's the problem with this kind of thing, because there's a lot of back and forth online, and we can have these agreements or not. Does this mean he's innocent? Yes, in the court of law, it means that there's not enough to even take it to the court. So I guess you could say he's not innocent, but he's also not guilty. There's not enough there to pass judgment on it because there's just not enough evidence that it even happened. Does that mean this guy's an angel and a perfect person? No, of course not. But is it enough that he should lose his livelihood and his game company and half of his creation of Rick and Morty and everything else over lies? No, of course not. And that's the problem, is that once again, because of pressure of him being such a bad person, and even just the accusation of a guy doing wrong things is enough to ruin his life. And that really, in many ways, is the intention of the person accusing him. And now maybe he can try to file a lawsuit back against the woman that said he did these things. But what are the odds that she's as successful and makes as much money as he does? What are the odds that he'll be able to recoup even 100th or 1,000th of what he's lost because of this? And how bad is his name dinged up, even though he didn't do anything wrong? These are all the problems with this stuff. And I'm of mixed mind on it because, we do want, if somebody is doing something bad, we do want people to come forward. Does that mean that they didn't do anything bad just because there's no evidence of it? No. I mean, I suppose I could put a pillow over someone's face and try to snuff them out and not leave a mark on them. And it doesn't mean that they're not a danger to society. But in the same token, if there's literally not enough evidence to take this to trial, how do we assess the situation? And in the meantime, take a man's career and everything else away from him when there's just no proof of one way or another. I don't know. It's an interesting, I guess, thought to have, to say that all evidence, which there isn't enough of, doesn't prove that he did or didn't do anything. There's just not enough there to even take it to trial. Does that mean he's a good guy or a bad guy or not? Don't know. But it doesn't mean that we need to take away his livelihood because someone else said he actually did something. I don't think so. But way too often, this is the story. And we've seen it happen to entertainers. I've done stories on musicians and actors and football players. In the case of the Bills punter, I forget the gentleman's name, draft pick, turns out that didn't happen. The Duke Lacrosse University scandal that happened a long time ago, Mattress Girl, if you remember her on a college campus, time after time after time after time. We need to slow down, and I still think these things need to be investigated, obviously, but we need to slow down on the cancellation. And if it turns out, now in this case, there wasn't enough to take it to charges. I get that. But in the case where there's actually a bad false claim that's made against the guy, and it's found out that she lied or fabricated evidence, and they can prove it, she needs to get the same length of time in behind jail cell bars that he would have gotten for actually doing the crime. That's the only way this stops. But instead, what do they get? A lot of the times, nothing. They walk away. We don't even know their names. We don't know who started the whole thing. And they walk away scot-free. And all that does is invite this to continue on and on and on. Women using their power of media and social media and news agencies, all excited for the scoop and the story to take down a man. And it's just going to keep perpetuating. So I don't have an answer to this. I don't know how we fix this kind of thing. Again, we want it to go to trial. We want the truth to be found out. But time after time, there's just not enough there. And time after time, men keep getting punished for it. This is why oftentimes, even guys that might be successful in dating or successful with women, or maybe be desired to where they probably could get married and do very well for themselves, this is why a lot of guys are kind of nervous to do it anymore, because the risks are just not worth the rewards. Guys, if you're on YouTube or Rumble, please join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com. We do movie nights every Saturday night. Haven't decided what we're going to be doing for this Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'll get the movies together and post that up sometime over there for you. And we hope you join us today. All right, guys, we will see you in the next one.